Afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Thursday, May 5th, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a reverse aging health call Friday, tomorrow night at 9 p.m. We have all, on this planet we talk about, have you ever made a mistake? Looking at the bigger picture of your life, you will see a divine orchestration happening. Every little choice you've made was perfect and necessary for you to embrace the amazing being you truly are. Enjoy the perfection of it all. There's no such thing as coincidence. Every single thing each of us do is magnificent. You live, you love, you lose, you learn, and someday you might laugh. Anonymous. You live, you love, you lose, you learn, and someday you might laugh. There is something extremely magical happening right now, in this very moment of each of our lives. We may not be aware of it or care to take notice, yet it is here, and it continues to go on being magical all the time. It happens so frequently that it can seem normal, obvious, and typical, which is why you might tend to overlook it every day. Yet, truly, this magical thing is more amazing than the mind can fully believe or comprehend. This miraculous thing I'm talking about is your life. And it is happening inside of you, through you, to you, and for you right now. There is a perpetual creation of the experience of you occurring just for you right now. There is a perpetual creation of the experience of you occurring just for you to enjoy you. There is not much you can do about it. Excuse me. The best thing to do is to just let go and completely surrender yourself to the experience. On a physical level, there are millions of miniature life-giving processes happening inside your body right now. There are energies that are keeping your heart beating, your lungs breathing, your hair growing, your teeth from decaying, and allowing your heart to relax and sleep tonight. Your diaphragm is pulling in a continual flow of oxygenating energy into your lungs while your body is pumping blood to trillions of cells, lovingly transporting the great river of life-giving energy to every cell throughout your body. In this moment, as you are sitting here and listening to what I'm sharing and understanding this, billions of brain cells are being engaged in understanding these concepts. It is only in this now moment that you can find this miraculous experience called life and discover where it is coming from. When you stop to appreciate all of the wonderful things that are occurring in your life, this highly sensitive extrasensory perception begins opening within you. You begin feeling and sensing the divinity that is behind every breath and heartbeat. This sweet sensitivity increases to the point where you can feel the vibrant matrix of intelligence that is weaving itself through all thoughts and things. It's amazing what a little appreciation for life can open up in you. When you start to be grateful for all the little things that you usually take for granted, you can begin to see, smell, taste, and hear the deeper meaning of your existence. It becomes possible to actually know on a spiritual level why you are here and what is the true meaning of your life. You see that everything that is happening around you is actually a miracle because you realize that you also are a miracle. Perhaps one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves is the experience of conscious awareness. We can watch the mind think, perceive, make up all sorts of explanations about ourselves and our life. We can see that when we make the slightest, most subtle shift in our perception of reality, our entire attitude and exploration of life changes. Our body responds differently to stimuli that it once believed was threatening, and we find an entirely new reason to be alive. The mind is the greatest inventor of lies. It never actually sees the truth in all its perfection. It can only see fragments of the truth, catch a glimpse of it here and there, and try to capture it with some fixed yet random creative expression. It is always making up stories about the other people, the world, yourself, and the way that life is. It makes these enormous, glorious assumptions to courageously capture the truth and fit into a beautiful box that others can appreciate and praise. Yet the truth is too big for the mind to contain. The truth is everything in the universe that is here now. The mind can only hold on to two things, the past and the future. It can only hold on to two things, the past and the future. The mind cannot just be here now in the present. The moment the mind completely surrenders into the burning fire of the now, all grasping disappears, and all of your suffering created by the mind is gone. The singer exists only in singing. The walker exists only in walking. So is the ego. The ego exists only in clinging, in possessing things, in dominating things. When there is no domination, no desire to dominate, no desire to cling, no desire to possess, the ego starts evaporating. If you wish to experience the truly miraculous being that you are and get a real taste of the amazing life that is yours to enjoy, you must choose to drop the mind. You must choose to give up completely and let go of all clinging to its righteous beliefs and ways of thinking. That is the only way to be truly alive. Otherwise, you're just living in tomorrow or yesterday. Otherwise, you're just living in tomorrow or yesterday, missing out on this wondrous moment of life. The true you can only be found here, in the moment. And one day this body and mind will be gone, which is why this experience of your life is so very, very, very precious. Excuse me. And yes, your life is so precious. Take the time today to truly enjoy you being here right now and totally alive. How often do any of us appreciate the opportunity we have just to experience what it is like to be alive? This appreciation is our ticket to freedom. It is the main vehicle for liberating ourselves from the mind and its many prisons. To see, feel, and smell the divinity within all things, you must choose to drop all attachment to the mind and its entanglements. You must choose to merge with it, find peace with the mind within you. Just imagine that you are the sun, and the mind is a small, hard comet heading towards you, about to get burned up in the sun's sacred fire. So my invitation for you right now is enormous. Stop trying to get anywhere. Stop trying to get anywhere. Just drop the mind and see how much you can really enjoy this day, that you are still alive. In this very moment, you are still here. Who knows about the next moment? remember this. Choose to do everything you can to be radically alive. So my request here is not that you try and push yourself further into your known list of sensory pleasures, mental distractions, or physical addictions. I'm challenging you to go deeper into your aliveness, your spiritual nature, and find a deeper, more authentic joy inside of you, one that contains a deep healing relaxation within it. I want you to find the peace that is within your soul. It is here now and will help you transcend every hidden anxiety and self-sabotaging behavior you have had. I want you to become so alive, so vibrating with life, that you suddenly realize that you cannot hold on to all your worries and fears, that they are no longer your priority. Imagine, what would it feel to be so relaxed? What would it feel like to be so relaxed and excited about your life? Living in this magical body-mind vehicle you are in, that you forgot or forget all insecurity and fear. What would it be like? What if the main mission of your life was to do this? What if finding absolute unending joy was as simple as being fully here now, welcoming this sacred moment and whatever the experience is giving you? What if the goal of your life was to cherish yourself in each precious moment, as if this was the first or last moment of your life? How would you live this day differently if it was your truth? One must have chaos in oneself in order to give birth to a dancing star. Friedrich Nietzsche. Did you know the translation of the word sin, which I've covered many times, means to miss the target? The translation of the word sin means to miss the target. I see that life is like a game of darts where the bullseye target is being fully here in this now moment. This is where the divinity of your divine essence is found. It is the only place in space it is discovered. So why be anywhere else? It is just the habit of the mind to be somewhere other than here now. When you take your eye off the target for an instant, you miss the goal of your life completely. When you are relaxed, open, present, and fully surrendered to what is here now, you can trust life, enjoy being held by life, and hit the target each time. When you are relaxed, open, present, and fully surrendered to what is here now, you can trust life, enjoy being held by life, and hit the target each time. The one thing that will always bring you into the now is your body and your breath. And it is all about practice. Practice listening to your body intimately. Feel into how it is breathing into you this week. Really listen. What is it telling you? The body does not lie. And it's going to clue you in on an entire collaboration of vital information that you really need to know. Listen super closely, as if it were whispering to you from a place very, very, very far away. Notice what is the one message it has for you right now. It is pointing you inside, deeper inside, to the point of absolute relaxation. Totally dissolving all tension, where you can find real inner peace. It is through your body that you will find the real you, who is forever intimately connected with this universe. When you practice listening to your body, letting go of the chit-chat in your mind, you start to hear these subtle messages from the universe that guide you through the daily matrix of this life. This universe will show you how to get through this life, how to navigate your way into the way into finding heaven on earth. You finding you, the God, the heaven on earth, the body. This is your purpose for being here. To find heaven is here, in this now moment. When you deeply relax into yourself, into your life, exactly as it is, you can discover the greatest miracle of all. You can trust that you are on the right path in every moment of your existence. You just see, feel, and deeply accept that you cannot get off the path no matter what you do. This is true because you are the path. Understand that. All of us are the path. The path is before us, beneath us, right where we are. Walking on the path, we see everyone is perfect just the way they are. We begin noticing that everyone fits into the grand perfection with all of their many imperfections, and realize the great miracle of them all is always here. Here, the most magical source of living is discovered. The real intimacy with life, the meeting of the divine with the mundane, in every order and extraordinary experience. Liberation is not very far away. It is just hidden behind you. Once you are authentic, the door is open. We can be such liars, pretenders, hypocrites, so deeply false. That's why we feel liberation is very far away. It is not. For an authentic being, liberation is just natural as anything, Osho. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure that we all are. And the first thing, every time, is to relax the body you're in. From head to toe, inside and out. We do this through the breath. The breath is sacred, divine positive energy. Once we focus on the breath, easy and slowly in through the nose, easy and slowly out through the mouth, we still the mind, the ego, the subconscious mind. We still them. All the chatter, all the mind chatter that we have, 24/7, all the thoughts, all the worries, all the stresses, all the fears, all the anxiety are silenced because you've moved yourself into the now. Understand that the mind, ego, cannot go into the now because it doesn't exist there. You see how powerful the now is? And the only way to master these illusions while you're in the body is in the now. You don't judge them, you watch them. You become so clear that when the ego thought comes in, the ego mind thought, or the ego controlling you on responses or towards others, you'll know it. You'll know it immediately. You'll go, that's my ego. You know, that's the mind doing this. And you can literally stop it by being in the now. And eventually you learn. You'll know when an ego thought comes in. You'll immediately identify it because you'll know exactly. You'll be in the heart mind. And you'll go, that's ego. And it will vanish. See, the ego mind doesn't want you to know. It doesn't want you to know how you can master it. It doesn't want you in the now. It will do everything it can to keep you out of the now. Same with subconscious mind. That's the one that stores everything. Stores everything that you've ever done in that body. And then some. Stores all past lives, all future lives. It stores everything. Copies everything the ego mind generates. And then plays it back. It's like a recorder. So being in the now and practicing being in the now is the way you will master these things through the heart-mind. Now, we all produce, each of us, every 24 hours, over 60,000 thoughts. Doesn't mean that we know every single one of them. That's where the surprises come in. But we send that many thoughts to the universe every 24 hours. Not only that, we've got tens of millions, billions of thoughts flying by like clouds in the sky. They aren't our thoughts. You might as well call them programs. That's more what they like, what they are. And a lot of us will grab onto these programs thinking they're ours, create them into reality and experience them in this life. So what's the key? The key is the now. The key is the door to the journey within. The key, the now, the door to the journey within. The ego mind, subconscious mind, is on the journey outside of you. The past, the future, the past, past, future, past, future, past. That's how it works. Heaven forbid the now. That's pretty nifty because you're able to discover that. So the mind and the ego doesn't exist in the now. And the mind and the ego is the pathway to all pain and suffering. And so it's just a little bit of deductive reasoning to understand is that my journey is within. And my effort is always to practice being in the now. And at the same time, being gentle, kind, generous, and humble with oneself at all times, and being the deepest of the deepest, the highest of the highest, and the purest of the purest, eternal gratitude, 24/7. No matter what goes on outside of you, you will always find one or more things that you are grateful for. Now, you will know when you drop into the heart mind, right where your heart is, and not the head, not the ego mind. You'll know the difference. There'll be a little bit of a shift. You'll know that you'll be focusing, things will be coming from the heart, not the head. You'll know you're there. That doesn't mean you'll be there permanently because you haven't practiced enough. But as you continue to practice more and more, the more and more and more you'll stay in the heart mind. And the more and more you'll stay in the now. So when you look into the body, because you know you're not the body, we know this. We know we're not the character, the personality. We're not our status in this life on this planet. We're not our name. We're the God within it, within the body. So when you look in that body, you'll see 7 lights. They go from the tailbone to the top of the head. Beautiful, vibrant lights. Much more so than the colors on this planet. And on this planet, they're called chakras, and the definition of chakra is wheel. These are wheels of light. What are they? Spirit, etheric energy. We're spirit, etheric energy. I'm meant to say powerful. We flow through them. We know every single thing there is to know, the gods that we are, about these bodies. There's just one little element there, amnesia. It's like people say, well, then why can't I just heal my body right now immediately? Because you don't know who and what you are yet. How are you going to do that until you find that out? Once you know who and what you are, then those doors will start opening up. So we literally are the power of healing these bodies. We know everything there is to know about them, down to the quantum quark. That's pretty detailed. Now picture yourself standing in front of 3 paths, right? You're in the center one. We're all in the center one, right? And the center is the now. The one on the left is the past, the one on the right is the future. Now, of course, we're always curious, so we look around and we see things, right? And we see how the trees have formed canopies over each path. Trees are a shimmering gold, leaves, branches, bark. And the path itself is a tremendously vibrant emerald green flaming grass. It appears to be grass. And then we look at these paths, and we notice a difference. The only difference that we notice is that the past path is worn. It has been used a lot. And the one on the right, the future path, same thing, been used a lot. The one you're in front of, the now path, looks brand new. Now, we all go into the past. And we do it for different reasons. We get nostalgic, and it could be any time. You ever done that? All of a sudden, this rush comes in, and you start reminiscing about something that you've done in the past, right? And usually it's really fun, and you really enjoyed it. So you just kind of sit back and, oh, that was such a wonderful time, and I really enjoyed it. And you'll even visit some of the times as almost like guides, like reference material. Is, oh, I did it this way, it didn't work, so I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to try a different way. And it's really fun. And, a lot of us will carry things throughout our lives that, handed down from family mementos or nostalgic items. It could be a vehicle. It could be anything. And we hold on to them because they represent memories, right? That jog us back into those memories and how wonderful it was to take grandmother to church in this car, or so on and so forth. Now, we will go in there. We all have this private library, resource library, right? The Great Hall. And when we'll go up the stairs, we'll open the door, we'll turn on the light. That's our subconscious minds, right? And normally we would look at the walls and see walls, but we look at these walls and we don't see walls. The place is so big. It seems endless. And we look for the ceiling. There's no ceiling because it's so darn large. But we go and we'll pick up some movies and some books and pictures. And then we'll go sit in the easy chair and we'll watch some of the movies. We'll read some of the books and we'll look at some of the pictures. And we reminisce, and it's fun. We enjoy it. And also pick up some pointers on past things that we did that didn't work out right and how to do it differently so maybe they will work out. But then we put everything away in the proper place. We turn off the light, we shut the door, and we move forward in life. And revisit it at times. But there are some people, and I do not believe it's conscious, I believe it's unconscious, but they'll go into the past. They'll go into that great hall. And they stay there so long that they end up taking that past, bringing it into a future that doesn't exist, creating that future from that past and reliving that past in that future. This is why a lot of people will say no matter what we do, we always end up here. No matter what we do, we always end up here. Now, we all will visit the future. The path on the right. And we want to know things. Haven't you ever wanted to know things and you got tired of waiting for it? You kind of sat there and said, I want to know when this stuff's going to happen. You get antsy, you get frustrated, and you feel hurried or rushed. And it's not a fun feeling. We've all been there. And so you say to yourself, I'm going to go that path in the future, and I want to know things. I want to find out some things about my future. When is this stuff going to happen for me? When am I going to have this happen? When am I going to meet my lifelong romantic partner? Or when am I going to make enough money to enjoy my life? When am I going to be well enough to enjoy my life? When am I going to get a new boss? When am I going to get a new job? When am I going to get a new house? When am I going to get a new car? And it goes on and on and on. But we want to know. We get to the point where we want to know things. We want to know them ahead of time. Okay? That's the ego mind. And so if we don't get answers asking these questions to ourselves, then we'll seek external authority. External authority comes in all shapes and forms and sizes and colors. And for instance, we have tarot readers, tarot card readers, crystal readers, palm readers, psychics, astrologers, chart readings. I mean, we go on and on and on. So we'll go to those people and we'll ask them, where do you see me 3 months from now? You're asking external authority for that. I want to know when I'm going to have enough money to be able to do this, this, and this. And so they help the best they can, right? Now, the people will respond two ways that the external authorities are telling them things. They'll either take it with a grain of salt and go, or they'll take it in, they'll embrace it, and they'll believe it. That's when they start manifesting it. There's been so many times where, when I used to do readings, where people, I knew that they believed it. See? They believed it. And no matter how much you know as the reader that it can happen, it's up to them to embrace it and to move it into form and create it into reality. And what happens is that some people will say, well, that's great, and they take it with them, right? And they leave it alone. They believe it, but they don't really visit it. This is great. Okay, so this will happen. Okay, fine. Now, it may not happen in the time span that the reader told them, but eventually it happens. And so they don't know, but they give the credit to the reader. See? And actually, they're the one that gave it enough power to push it over the top. So now, look at the now. None of that is there. None of it. You're not in a hurry. You have no concern about tomorrow. You really don't. It isn't even here. You have no concern about yesterday. It's gone. And the only thing that any of us will ever have is the now. We don't know if we'll wake up the next morning, do we? No, we don't. We don't know if our last breath is in this now. So doesn't it make sense to focus and practice on the now? If someone were to come up to you and say, hey, Frank, what are you doing tomorrow? You would genuinely and honestly tell that person, I have no idea, Jeff. I have no idea whatsoever. Why not? I only practice being in the very moment. That's why. No matter what. And see, this is where you begin to understand it doesn't matter what anybody thinks of you. It doesn't. See? In the now, that doesn't exist. And it opens up a whole new existence of discovering the God that you are within that body. Now we know that what? We're the God. We're pure consciousness. We're the kingdom of God. We're heaven. Heaven isn't a place. Heaven is you, me, everyone, all the gods in these bodies. So, and we're consciously aware. What does that mean? It means that we know that we are of and from, the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest, and the purest of the purest, eternal love. So every single step we take on this planet, we're creating paradise. Literally. Not only that, we're shining our light. And what is the light? The light is what we are from within these bodies, the gods that we are, the pure love that we are. And it's a bright light. Super bright. And we're flooding everything and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. We're flooding all of that. All of it. Nonstop. You could literally look at a group of people, right? Not that you're looking for a group of people, but you come across people and gathered in a square area or a park, whatever. And you just kind of sense through your heart that they just don't seem that flowing or happy, right? You sense that there's worry, stress, and fear there. So you decide to say, I'm going to blast my light, saturate, permeate, and flood every single one of them. Your deep eternal love. That's what you are. Doesn't it make sense that you just blast it wherever you choose? And it will shift them. Not that you may not notice it on the surface, but it will shift them into a higher frequency. It never does not. It always does. You can be standing at the grocery store and somebody, you sense this, okay? You're not looking for it. But you sense, we all have this ability. So we sense it because we're all one anyway. So we sense it. And we sense it, that the person in front of me, they seem not to be too happy. So I'm going to flood them with my light. And they'll shift. It doesn't mean it has to be a massive shift, but they'll shift. And what we're doing is we're shining light on ourselves. Because we're all part of each other. Gods within these bodies are all one. And the habit that we choose to break is judging the surface. In other words, the suit that the God wears. By judging the suit, you're judging all the bodies on the planet. Or have you ever come across somebody and you go, wow, they're really out of it. Man, I can't stand being around them. You ever done that? Say to yourself. And what they're doing is they're showing a part of yourself that you've kind of put in the closet. There's something that's causing that irritation with you that they don't even have to say anything. You don't even know them. You just be around them. Now, this planet is being transformed into a God planet paradise. Okay? Literally. Higher and higher frequencies are flooding in. The lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, pure evil, are being vaporized. That's what's happening. If you were to take a starship off this planet, and let's say you got out far enough where the planet looked like the size of a basketball, you would see the planet glowed. I mean, it really glowed. I mean, for goodness sakes, we've got 8 billion humanoids, right? On, in, above, and below this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now, not including all the trees and all the other physical forms that gods are inhabiting to experience those physical forms. So the lights in the universe, in this universe around this planet, look like a candle that's been lit in a dark room. You could take 1 trillion suns, right? You can bunch them all together. And they would pale, the light of those suns would pale in comparison to the light that we are. There's no brighter light. So God planet paradise that glows. Now, we know that we're not the body, we're the God within the body, and we know that all of us are God. So we're not apart, ever. The body gives us the illusion that we're separate, and we're not. Look at all the confusion that's caused. We have parts of ourselves that are asleep. Parts of the gods that we are asleep. They're just stone cold asleep. They aren't going to wake up until they decide to wake up. Then we have parts of ourselves that are awake to a certain extent, consciously aware. And it doesn't mean that we don't love the parts any less that are asleep than the ones that aren't. This includes all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Numbers are in the googolplexes. One googolplex fills this entire universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. Trillions of googolplexes from trillions of universes. This is Ascended Masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Vedantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua, the Archangels, the Cherubim, the Seraphim, the Archetypes, all the off-worlders, galactics, and celestials, all of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. Now, the Ascended Masters, they have ascended into physical form. They have mastered physical form. They have ascended out of physical form. They hold pure consciousness God form. We have ascended into physical form. We are in the process of mastering physical form. We are creating our experiences to perfect our creation. Now, the Archangels, their civilization vibrated at a different frequency than we do. That's why we don't really see them like we see each other. And understand that the God within their body and the God within our body is one. Now, they happen to know that we have amnesia. Okay? And they're interacting with us for thousands of lifetimes, trying to get us just maybe something that will spark us to kind of start waking up to who and what we are. And they do it in many ways. There is a message that's the prime message, prime directive is to get us to wake up. And they deliver it in many, many different ways, And the message is, isn't it absolutely magna-glorious, spectacular, stupendous, marvelous to be alive in these bodies? And it is. See, we don't have a reference. We all know that. What reference do we have? Do we have a reference of the gods that we are in these bodies? Do we know who and what we are to the deepest meaning and understanding? And do we have this amnesia? So we rediscover the gods that we are within these bodies. And in this lifetime, that can happen. Others may take more lifetimes for that to happen. So we start understanding that, ask yourself this in contemplation and meditation. So that means you're a ball of pure, white, bright energy. I mean, there's nothing comes close to the brilliance that each of us are in these bodies. But the difference is, we don't, when we're in our natural state of the God force, love, light, energy, we don't make love, we don't kiss, we don't hold hands, we don't laugh, we don't cry. We don't eat, we don't sleep. We don't go out and have a nice dinner on occasion. We don't do any of that stuff. We don't walk in the park and look at the nature and interact with it. See the flowers, the breeze on our face and through our hair. We don't do any of that. We don't touch, we don't feel. And we don't see through these eyes. You can see how enticing it is to be in one of these bodies. When you begin to discover all of these things, you begin to reaffirm the God that you are within that body, and you fall into the deepest of the deepest gratitude, and you stay in that gratitude always. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time, and the tens of thousands, tens of millions, and more. Reason is because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a large number in a small area. If you want them to, just ask. Within a blink of the eye, they'll be all around you. You will be in bliss. Now, light energy beings on this planet, with the eyes that we have with these bodies, right, we only see 1% of what is. But there are light energy beings in different light spectrums, red, infrared, violet, ultraviolet, super green, super blue. There's so many different light energy beings. We just don't see them all. They come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations. There is a small group that all of us are very familiar with. Part of this group, these bodies we're in, if this part of the group didn't assist these bodies, we would be forced to leave them. The fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, the magics, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur. Now ask your body, can you survive without air, without water, without earth, without fire, without wood, without ether? No. We would be forced, the gods that we are, to leave these bodies. That's how these bodies are so dependent on the elementals. And you know it to be true because it vibrates with you. How many on this planet never, ever think about that? They never see it through their heart minds. They're totally lost for it. All of you become masters. First with yourselves, your ego mind, your subconscious mind. Instead of living in the head, you live in the heart. Once that's accomplished, once you do that, discover it for yourself, then you teach others, only those who want to be taught, so that they can go on and do the same for others, and so on and so forth. But only until you've mastered you, and you've mastered this life, and you've mastered the ego mind, and you've mastered the subconscious mind. Now, the off-worlders, the celestials and the galactic. Over 1,000 species, civilizations travel through this solar system every day. There's over 160 planets alone in this solar system. Trillions throughout the universe every day. Now, we're familiar with a small group. Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. This particular group has been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. We're always one. We're focused on this planet. There's complete liberation with no loose ends. That's what's happening in the now. and our numbers are endless, and whether it appears to be that parts of us are 9,000 billion light years away, doesn't matter, we're still one. We're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. We're all one, we're all love, and we're all God. And our God, force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. It continues to grow, intensify, and expand. We immediately form a massive white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This white fire light emanates from the gods within these bodies that we are. It is pure, deep, eternal love. It's saturating this planet, permeating it, flooding it, head to toe, inside and out, above it, below it, in it, and around it. And this pure, deep, eternal love, there's no hiding, see? It's everywhere. And it continues to grow, intensify, and expand. We begin to ascend above the planet. As we do, we're met with this massive ocean of glitter. Now, it's not like it's nothing like the ocean of glitter you depict on this planet. It's way beyond that. So we come up with things that we've seen on this planet, and we accelerate them, so to speak. We extend them, intensify them. So a grand finale fireworks display, but this one's 1 trillion times more as far as large and 1 trillion times more intense. Same with a grand finale laser light show display and the ballroom globe, that all light shined upon it floods the room. Except it's 1 trillion times larger and 1 trillion times more intense. So we combine all of these into a massive crescendo. And that gives us the closest depiction of the ocean of glitter that we're all in. And we look at the reflective points, which are everywhere. We notice these little tiny microscopic, perfectly etched mirrors. And we enter them, and we discover that all of us, everywhere and nowhere, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, are learning and teaching. Teaching, learning. With each other. Not only humanoid forms showing each other things, but all the other forms, the trees, the clouds, everything. Bug in the rug, fly on the wall, spider in a web, cat, dog, moose, cow, tree, bush, rock. And there's times you will look at something and you'll say, I wonder what it would be like to be that. You ever done that? Maybe you did it as a kid. What would it like to be a rock? What would it like to be a tree? And you can do that. You can know that, what it's like. Focusing on the breath, moving into silence and just being in the now, and you will experience a brief moment of what it's like to be that object. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is the column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we are imbued with a white fire armor from head to toe, inside and out. The white fire armor emanates from the gods that we are within these bodies, the pure, deep, eternal love. It is impenetrable. We are always protected 24/7 at this level of high frequency. So no lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, no demon possession, no attachments, nothing. They can't come close to us because they'll vaporize, so they stay away. Yet, only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, anger, fear, greed, hurriedness, revenge, envy, worry, stress, fear, dishonesty, you will lower your vibrational frequency low enough to create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then there's possibilities of demon possession, attachment, and many other things. Now, you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with a double column of light. We created this double column of light. The first part of it is the purple transmuting flame. We created this part of the double column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness, where they are no more. We are then met with the second part of this column of light, the violet ray. We created this part of the column of light to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest high, the deepest of the deepest, and the purest of the purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. Then we're met with the golden light pink light. This is a column of light that we created to remind all of us, the gods that we are in these bodies, that we are the sun, the sunlight, rain, the rainbows, the sun sets, the sun rises, clouds in the sky, oceans, rivers, lakes, streams, mountains, trees, the forests, the soils, everything. We're everything, and everything is us. Always has been, always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. So the next time you see any of these visions, the rainbow, the sunset, sunrise, ocean front, mountain view, whatever it may be, starry lit night sky, and we look at it and say, it's beautiful. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, it is, because it's you. It's each of us, the gods that we are within these bodies. So when you do look at that, that's the God that I am. And I guarantee you, you will feel a shift. And it's always through the heart-mind, not the ego-mind. The heart-mind. That is the God that I am. Now, we continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us who are carrying physical form decide to step outside that physical form, hover effortlessly above it. And the reason we do this is because it is really fun, and we can. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. We created this tower. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. In the center of the column, we notice this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is this humongous golden white bowl of light. It, in turn, is surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light into infinity and beyond. Now, this, in turn, has created a super bright, white, reflecting, glittering, flashing, misty cloud. And it's absorbed through our heart mind, right through the chest. And it's like a warm embrace that never ends. We do discover that the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Then comes well-being, gratitude, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, massive prosperity, massive abundance. And all of this is a reflection of the gods that we are within these bodies. Now, we designed the top of this column so that the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, 24/7, infinity and beyond, like it is doing right now, flooding, saturating, and permeating this planet and all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, on it, in it, above it, and below it. What is the golden ocean? It is pure, deep, eternal love. It is what we are all made of, the gods that we are. We are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops of the golden ocean. The only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. It's that center circle. We created this sphere over 4 years ago. It holds nearly 1,900 of our meditations in perpetual motion. These meditations continue to intensify, grow, and expand. Hundreds of millions of us on and off world, consciously aware to a certain extent, liberating this planet from the clutches of pure evil permanently, bringing it into the highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies of pure, deep, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. And you notice the planet, right? And you're watching. You're not judging, you're watching. And you see this goopy, black, dark matter literally looks like it's evaporating from the planet everywhere, going up into this. It's kind of a field. You can see through it. And it is a super bright white with tinges of golden and pink light. And you see this goop. This includes the AI goop, all of the pure evil. And you watch as it goes up and it begins to disintegrate. It just starts depleting itself. And then you see the sky, and the sky is not blue. It is a super bright white with tinges of pink and gold light. And this dark matter, any of it that's left through the field, comes in contact with this sky and vanishes. No particle left, gone, absorbed into pure consciousness. Done. Permanently. You can tap into this anytime you choose. Through meditation. You want to watch it, see what it does. The quality of our personal relationships represents how interconnected and whole we are within ourselves. So for today, take some time to recognize and acknowledge all the interactions, connections, relations, and relationships you are still thinking about from your past. This may seem like an impossible feat, yet just do the best memory recall you can. Go back to your childhood, grade school, high school. Take a good look at what memories you are still repeating and what you have done or said differently, what you would have done. What do you wish you would have experienced? What happened to your heart when you did start doing and saying what you wanted to? I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to let us go. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out of the mouth. Be still. Shine the light of consciousness into your unconsciousness. You will illuminate your soul. Right now, there is a massive amount of hidden, unknown, buried material in our unconsciousness. Sometime today, for 30 minutes, bring your awareness into your unconsciousness. How do you do this? Sit in a dark room, close your eyes, relax deeply into your belly and body, and allow any thought to arise that may be hidden beneath the surface. When they do, the instant they enter your mind, imagine you're shining a bright golden spotlight on them immediately. However, this light is so powerful, it incinerates the thought, and they dissolve instantly, giving more space for you inside. During this exercise, know that you are safe here, no matter what you experience. Even though you may see nothing and feel nothing, stay present in the void. You may feel your entire body and mind have disappeared. Simply remain present and aware that consciousness is always here. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. We'll return here Friday, May 6th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern to continue our Global Guided Meditation call, and 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our Reverse Aging Health call.